If you hate Josh Hokit, if you're genuinely not a fan of everything he's been doing and what he's representing right now, I'm not even saying this just to say it. I mean this from the bottom of my big-nosed heart. I salute you, sir. I think that's totally fair. I actually get where you're coming from. If anything, y'all probably make more sense than me. But in my opinion, and I think a decent amount of other people, I love what this guy is doing. I'm already a big Josh Hokit fan. He's already one of my favorite heavyweights, right? And I feel like a big part of that is because not only is heavyweight as a whole gaining more life into it, right? You have a lot of guys in the come up right now. There's actually, the Valter Walker's on the rise. You have Gable Stevenson's debuting. You have these guys actually fighting each other now. There's new fresh names that are climbing. And I think heavyweight is reviving, okay? And it desperately needs that revival. But Josh Hokit, in my opinion, is such a necessary part of not only just the boom in the heavyweight division and why it's doing well, but for me personally, I think he's making these pressers just so much better. I feel like, remember when we had the UFC 321 press conference with Aspinall and Gane? Those guys are a great example of two athletic heavyweights who can hold their own. Like Aspinall is a very well-rounded guy, and Gane is such a high volume, very crisp, moves like a middleweight kind of striker. They're both very elite and showing what the UFC level of heavyweight should be. But that presser and that buildup, like, holy fuck, just terrible. Just terrible. Like, there wasn't really any investment at all. If you know the sport and if you know both guys and you just want to see a good scrap, we knew that's what we were going to get. Unfortunately, it ended the way it did. But sitting through that 321 presser, and you could literally hear a pin drop, was terrible. Just the most basic, boring questions, just the most basic, boring answers. And I'm a big fan of Aspinall. Gone, he's okay. But I respect both guys a lot. But at the end of the day, you can't tell me that shit was a good time. You can't tell me you had fun watching that. You know what I'm saying? Not the fight, the build-up, the pressers, the interviews, all that. And it's just like when you have Hokit in there, who is taking the 327 presser. Shout out him and Paulo Costa, Yuri Prochazka. They were adding a lot of clips. They were adding a lot of life. That was a good presser. And then you have him with the White House presser. This is my whole thing here. Or, I'm sorry, a big thing here. Dude, the White House presser, I was tuning in live, right? And I was waiting like 20 minutes before. I was one of the people, it's like, you and 5K others are watching. Like, it's like, all right, bro. And then you just see that number grow and rise. And we are watching that presser. This was the day after the 328 one, which was the most viewed. It had the most live viewers ever, not counting a McGregor press conference. And it was a big deal. And it ended up delivering for the most part, And then you had the White House presser the next day. We were hoping it was going to be like, it didn't have to be something similar. It's really hard to replicate that kind of bad blood and high animosity. But we were kind of hoping at least for some clips. We were hoping for some good answers. We were hoping for some investment. And until the end, I don't know if I was the only one feeling this. It was a bit of a stinker. I think the questions were okay. I think I could tell that the media members were trying to step like a little outside their usual very small box. But at the end of the day, you were just getting a bunch of very just go with the flow, very just same old kind of answers, right? And it just felt like, it's like, come on, man. Like, when are we going to get, like, these big moments? And I never want it to feel forced. That's the thing. I don't want these guys to be something they're not. I don't want to have to replicate, or I'm sorry, like, force bad blood if it's not there. I think that's stupid, right? You shouldn't have to do that. But once Hokit started chirping, and then, like, it's, him and Lewis were kind of going a little back and forth. He was doing all that shit. But then at the end, when he's going off on Pereira, and he's going off on Topuria, that shit made the entire presser. That shit was the highlight. That was the most liked one in their account by hundreds of thousands of likes. It was the most viewed. It was the thing that had everybody talking. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Can you name me anything else significant that happened at that presser? Please tell me. I'm not even fucking around. Mike's all yours, buddy. Nope. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, I'm sorry. That was low-key cringy as fuck. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, though, you get my point, where it's like Hokit just brought such a fun feeling to it. And now, like, Pereira and Topuria, their fan bases can come together and be like, fuck this guy and Hokit. Like, we stand for Chama. We stand for Topuria. And then Topuria being accurate as fuck with everything he does and throwing the bottle cap at Hokit's face. And it brings people to want to see Hokit lose even more and want to tune in to see him lose. And the people that like Hokit, they like him even more because they're like, look at this guy who's going out there and really promoting himself and really making clips and really getting people talking, right? I feel like I need to mention this too. I like the balance of the sport where you have, there's guys that look at look at the perfect example of Blades versus Hokit. Blades is a guy who's not big into the trash talk, and I'm a big fan of Blades. I like Curtis Blades. Chicago represent. But he's not a guy who's trash talking. He's not a guy that's really going out of his way to try to force the fight to, I guess, feel bigger than it is. Like, he was even saying in the build-up, like, yeah, I'm gonna try and make this pressure like just so nonchalant. He's gonna come at me and do his thing, but I'm not buying into it. Like, and all due respect to him, I'll tip my cap to him. That's fair enough. Don't force something you're not. but I like the balance that you can have a guy like Hokit, who's just the all trash talk, all trying to promote, all trying to do all the shticks and stuff. And on the other side is Blades, just here to fight, just here to see the highest level of MMA, just here you want to see a bit of the wrestling, you want to see the heavyweight scrap, you want to see everything, right? That's what Blades represents, and that's totally fine. I think there can be people that appreciate both or just appreciate one or the other. That's fucking fine, bro. I'm not even saying this to say it. I mean it. But at the end of the day, for me, I like the balance. I want both. Like, I think that this sport is different from NBA, NFL. Like, it is a bit more on the entertainment side. We do have these pressers that have given us such big moments in the 2000s, in the 2010s, even a couple years ago, 2020s. Well, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the earlier 2020s. But I feel like we've hit this just wall lately where we're getting, like, there was no more balance. There was none of that stuff going on anymore, right? And even the guys that were supposed to, you know, like, oh, these are the trash talkers, these are the guys that promote, even they don't fucking do it. And again, that's fine. That's okay. But like for me, I do dig and I do appreciate just a little bit of that entertainment, a little bit of that back and forth, a little bit of the Josh Hokit kind of guys. And you could say it's cringy. You could say all that stuff. That's fine. That's fair. But I will stand my base. That White House presser was going in a very stinky ass. I could word that better. It was being a bit of a stinker before all the shit kind of happened at the end. And the 327 presser was a great time. Shout out those guys. You know, pretty much almost everyone on stage was contributing towards, you know, making it very lively. The crowd was going wild. It made me go, okay, now I want to tune into this already great card even more. That's the goal of the pressers. You have a good card you're looking forward to on the weekend, good fights, good matchmaking, and then that's supposed to be the last chance. Let's really hype it up, right? That's what it is. And even at 327, the backstage shit, Hokit's chirping with Olberg, Hokit's chirping with Prohajka, Hokit's, you know, chirping to all these guys. It leads to talking points. It leads to us talking about Hokit, or, oh, we want to see him lose even more. Or, oh, look at this interaction. He brought this out of Prohajka. Or it even gave Carlos Olberg a bit of aura. Like, you know, Olberg's just kind of mogging him and just like, fuck him, bro. Like, or whatever he said. I'm botching it. But you get my point. I feel like it's good for everybody in terms of giving them more attention and more shine. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. The beef with Paulo Costa as well. Like, the fact that he was at 328, those guys are chirping. They're getting in each other's face. People are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And on top of all of this, Hokit is fun inside the cage. He really is. Like, he backs it up. We saw that in his debut. We saw it when he was knocking dudes out in the Apex. We saw it against Denzel Freeman. And we saw it against Curtis Blades, man. The guy, I can't even believe he was an NFL player a few years ago. I mean, granted, he was like an all-American wrestler, I believe, off the top of the dome. I think even Bo Nickel came out and said, like, well, respect to Hokit, he was the only guy that actually, like, tried to get after with me when we were facing each other. Like, you know, like, Hokit's always been an athlete, but he has really taken a hold of this MMA scene, man, and I really appreciate it. Like, he's so fun inside the cage. He can mix it up with the wrestling and make it entertaining. He can knock you the fuck out on the feet and take a shot for sure, man. And I think it goes to show, man, he can talk the talk and walk the walk and do these interviews. Like, there are a decent amount of fighters I like to tune into their interviews, and I'm trying to get into becoming an interviewer myself. It's a lot easier said than done as well, so shout out to everyone that's doing it, okay? I'm learning a lot here. I'm trying to get the reps in. But there's only certain fighters where it's like, oh, I see an interview with them, I have to watch. And Hokit is one of those guys because genuinely, you know you're going to get something, right? Now, granted, I'm not too crazy about listening to him for like 30 minutes, just go off on the Don Vato shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, I appreciate a lot of his interviews. And like, look at the Chael Sonnen one he just did a couple weeks ago. That was one where he was kind of like serious-ish, like he was kind of playing like the Josh character for he was playing like a character for the first few minutes, and then he kind of locked in. He's like, all right, now I'm just me, this is the real me. And you got 30 minutes of him just giving real answers and real responses to Chael. And even that version of him, the guy knows how to fucking make people talk, and the guy is saying what's on his mind, saying how he feels, and it's genuinely entertaining to listen to. And again, I know that, you know, being on the side B of interviewing, it's a lot easier said than done. Like, having the, like, you don't want to be that guy that forces answers. You want to just be yourself and you want to talk about the fight. And I think that is totally fucking fair. I salute my hat to all of those guys. I think that's totally fair to go the respectful route. But all I'm saying is, I feel like we were just getting that all the time, to the point to where it's like, it's just such a rarity to even have these guys like Hokit. And I'm just standing my base here, man, that I really do feel like he's a necessary hero right now. He's fun, dude. And like, I'm a big Tom Aspinall fan. He's one of my favorite heavyweights, okay? And I'll stand by that. I hate the fact that he's been inactive. Not his fault at all, okay? He just got the short end of the stick with the John Jones situation, and then he was already injured before that, and now he's dealing with the eye poke. He is genuinely one of the unluckiest fighters in UFC history. My heart genuinely goes out to him because he seems like a really cool, just nice guy. I hate to see this. And he represents good things as well for the heavyweight division. I know he wants to be active. But the only thing about Aspinall, let's just be honest, he does not get you really talking besides of what he does inside the cage. You know, like how many times are we going to watch a Tom Aspinall interview and it's like, oh, what does this John Jones shit mean to you? Or, oh, what are you going to do in the cage on Saturday? Like, that's all fine and good. I can appreciate a Tom Aspinall interview. And I really like Tom. Like, he's sick inside the cage, seems like a cool guy, but Hokit just represents it's just fun to listen to. It's just fun to watch. He's one of those guys where when he's at a press conference coming up, man, I have to tune in. I really do. Like, it's just someone that's going to get the investment out of me, right? And maybe I'm in the minority here. Maybe I am, but it can't change how I feel, man. Like, I like Josh Hokit, and if you don't like him, that is totally fucking fine. He's giving you 101 reasons to not like him. He's giving you 101 reasons to think he's cringy and think this is all bullshit. That is totally fucking fine, and I mean that. But at least for me personally, and I think a solid amount of other people, I'm into it, bro. It's fun, and I think heavyweight is finally really gaining the life back. I feel like we're slowly moving month by month away from the Tuivasa versus Teixeira fight, and we're getting really sick guys on the rise, or we're getting actual solid matchmaking where these guys are duking it out. We're seeing fun fights, fun finishes, or just new names. I really appreciate that, man, because heavyweight, like, my stream fucks with me all the time. They're like, why do you spend so much time yapping about heavyweight? It's a stupid division. Because I miss heavyweight, bro. I miss when this shit was relevant. We have to just act like there's only 7 divisions instead of 8 for the males. Like, I miss when heavyweight was one of those divisions, when it had all those names and when it was putting on fun fights. It's been years since we've had that. So shout out the guys like, I mean, Aspinall and Gunn, they're duking it out the highest level of heavyweight MMA. Shout out these guys that are on the rise right now, trying to promote. Shout out guys that are being active as fuck, like Cortez Acosta, taking on anyone and just trying to stand at bay. I can appreciate that, right? The well-rounded guys like a Blades who are just wholesome as fuck anyways, and then they duke it out. Like, I appreciate the fact that heavyweight is gaining life again, okay? New names, fun shit, and Josh Hokit is Josh Hokit, whatever the fuck. I'm sounding like Chael Sonnen for real now. I really do feel like Josh Hokit is a necessary heel right now for the UFC. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Like, I genuinely want to hear it, guys. Like, I totally get where a lot of people are coming from when they hate this guy, but I think he's fun. I think he's good for the sport. I think he's good for Paramount. And Paramount, I could tell they love him. It seems like genuinely they're trying to get the clips out of him. They're trying to post them whenever they can. They're trying to do little interviews with them. They see money in him. I do as well. If you guys disagree, totally fine, but I'm standing on my base that I think this guy is good for the heavyweight division. He's fun. I like his interviews. I like his fighting style. I like the pressures. I like the fact that he's making all this beef. I appreciate it, man. So shout out to Josh Hokit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don Smoke here, and I appreciate y'all so very much for giving me your time and attention as usual. Appreciate y'all, boys. Have a good one. Hope you have a great day.